Now.
Okay, this is my teeny tiny ring because I have a bad knee and I'm not running around a giant circle. I'm going to practice running Monroe because I learned from Gerard O'Shea how you need to teach corners and what the dog to expect when you go around the corners.
Right.
So we've never actually tried this, so we're going to start practicing as suggested.
Right, because Monroe's entered in the showdown
And she will
in
have
California.
to run in a circle.
Right, big circles. Someone said, and some judges, they can run dogs up to 15 minutes if they want.
He's already done, bud.
So this is how Lisa's teaching the dog to go around a ring, a show ring.
Not yet.
And then JC is going to bait the dog.
Good.
And the speed to move the dog is not the speed the other dogs are going. The speed to move your dog is the speed the dog looks at the best. And don't let people push you into running, moving the dog faster. Move your dog to your dog's best speed.
Good.
And don't run up on a handler. Like use the ring, use all four corners.
Nice.
If your dog's catching up to another dog, when the judge isn't looking, just stop. Get some distance between you and the other dog. And then move your dog at its proper gait and the other dog's still moving at its proper gait. But see, she's already figured out how to use the ring.
Yeah. All right, bait dog.
Okay, so JC, you're gonna bait her. So now what happens is the judge critiques the dog just like in the show. So they start at the head, then they move to the shoulders, then they move to the body, then they move to the feet, then they move to the tail. So everything in your critique describes what the judge is saying about your dog. And Yvonne Beckers wrote an awesome article explaining the words that are used on critiques. So you want your dog to stand square. A lot of judges are complaining of handlers standing over top of their dogs. It's something that we started to see probably a couple years ago. If you read any judge report, they'll tell you get away from the dog. They don't like these handlers standing on top of the dogs. So she wants a dog to stand square. She's a little bit stretched. So you want the dog to pull forward because you want the dog, perfect. You want the dog to, whatever the judge is looking at, you want to try and make that as perfect as possible. So the dog's collar should be adjusted so it's higher under the chin, because right now it's too low back on the neck, and so what happens is it gets a skin roll. And you want a clean neckline. So this is how you, perfect.
Stand.
See how much it improves the head?
Stand.
So it's all about presentation. And this dog's never shown before. This will be her first show. And she's in open females.
Stand.
Which is a huge class.
Good. Now. Stand.
And this is the most important critique that a breeder can get on their female or their male, because puppy buyers, what they'll start asking for is to see a copy of the BSE or the ZTP.
Good.
And if they can't be produced, then they'll probably look at litters elsewhere. So it really just gives a lot of assurance to the puppy buyer. The dog is passing hips, passing elbows. The dog has no disqualifying faults according to FCI standard. The dog then must pass a temperament test. And the dog must also show drive. It can be with a toy or with food. Can you use food to show drive, or just toy?
Stand. Nope.
But it's even better.
Come.
And this is something, Lisa's the RKNA breed warden.
Stand.
And when she was at the Switzerland meeting, this is something that IFR is interested in seeing in dogs. They want to see drive, right?
That would not be a problem with this dog.
Right.
sort of closer to
So learn to play with your dog. Learn to get your dog in drive just by showing a toy. It'll majorly help you at a show.
Don't kill the puppy toy. That was very good, Monroe.
So we do just about all toys on.
You can have it.
All toys on.
Monroe, here.